Imagine discovering an invention that would build cities, create kings, launch empires, and eventually put humans on the moon. Now, imagine that same invention also made people shorter, sicker, poorer, and trapped them in lives of endless work. It sounds impossible, but some archaeologists believe that's exactly what happened around 12,000 years ago. They argue that the birth of agriculture, one of humanity's greatest achievements, may also have been humanity's greatest mistake.
Life before farming. For over 95% of human history, humans weren't farmers. They were hunter-gatherers. They followed herds of animals, collected fruits, gathered nuts, caught fish, and moved with the changing seasons. Life was dangerous. Predators were everywhere. Injuries could be fatal. Food wasn't always guaranteed. Yet archaeological evidence paints a surprising picture. Many hunter-gatherers were taller than the first farmers. Their diets were incredibly diverse. Instead of eating 1 or 2 crops every day, they consumed dozens of different plants, wild animals, fish, berries, roots, seeds, and honey. Some researchers even suggest they worked fewer hours than early farming communities. Once food had been found, the rest of the day could be spent making tools, creating art, teaching children, or simply resting. It wasn't paradise, but it may have been healthier than many people imagine.
The Agricultural Revolution. Then, around 12,000 years ago, the last ice age came to an end. The climate became warmer. Wild wheat and barley spread across parts of the Fertile Crescent. Instead of simply collecting wild grains, people began planting them. At first, nobody realized history was changing. Small experiments became permanent fields. Temporary camps became villages. Villages became towns. For the first time, humans stayed in one place year after year. But farming demanded something hunting never had: constant labor. Fields had to be cleared, seeds planted, weeds removed, crops protected, harvests stored. The freedom to follow nature disappeared. People now worked according to the needs of their crops. In a strange way, humans didn't just domesticate wheat, wheat also domesticated humans.
The hidden costs. The first farming communities didn't become healthier. In many places, they became weaker. Skeletons discovered by archaeologists showed that early farmers were often shorter than hunter-gatherers. Their bones reveal signs of nutritional deficiencies. Because entire villages relied on only a few crops, a failed harvest could mean starvation. Living close together created another problem: disease. Permanent settlements allowed bacteria and viruses to spread more easily than ever before. Domesticated animals introduced entirely new illnesses into human populations. For the first time in history, epidemics became possible. And inequality began to grow. Some families controlled more land than others. More land produced more food. More food created more wealth. The gap between rich and poor had begun.
The birth of civilization. Yet farming also changed the world in incredible ways. Surplus food meant not everyone needed to grow crops. Some people became builders. Others became blacksmiths, merchants, priests, soldiers, artists, scientists. Writing was invented to keep records. Governments organized cities. Roads connected kingdoms. Trade spread ideas across continents. Without agriculture, there would have been no pyramids, no Roman Empire, no Great Wall of China, no universities, no modern technology. Civilization itself depended on farming. Was it really a mistake? So, was agriculture humanity's greatest mistake? The answer depends on how you define success. If success means freedom, Hunter-gatherers may have had the advantage. If success means population growth, agriculture won by an enormous margin. Today, more than 8 billion people live on Earth. Without farming, that would be impossible. Agriculture gave us civilization, but it also gave us taxes, wars, social inequality, pandemics, and some of the hardest labor our ancestors had ever known. Perhaps farming wasn't a mistake. Perhaps it was humanity's greatest trade-off. We exchanged freedom for stability, mobility for cities, and nature for civilization.
The next time you eat a slice of bread, look at a city skyline, or walk through a supermarket, remember this. Nearly every part of modern life exists because our ancestors planted a handful of seeds thousands of years ago. One simple decision that transformed the fate of our entire species.